It is a beautiful sunrise, just like how it's a beautiful sunrise right here. And we are happy to be with you on a Tuesday morning here in Kingston, Jamaica. It's 21 degrees Celsius. We're not cold. We're not fair. We're imagining have a weird coat and we just feel
nice and airy
and free,
tropical.
Yeah,
it's a blessing in Dennis. You know, it's so funny
to live
the
in
things
this
that we often take for granted. Just some as simple as the only thing with which we have to contend: rain and sun.
Rain and sun, and then look how breeze. And yeah, it's good to be free. K, good morning, TK.
Tell him no, TK not free. Of course. Tell them say don't free.
Give on free.
No, that's a nerve.
Thank you, Miss Kitty.
Yeah.
Not the cover.
No, you don't come for free, but you are free and emancipated.
Amen. All right, you take
That's
it.
what I mean.
That's right. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for the clarity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great morning, one and all, especially those wearing thermals in the cold.
Yes.
Wherever you are.
We're sending our warmth.
Sending warmth to you.
But it's about to kind of change now because it's like spring, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it's the bipolar weather period. Because like
one
people are people are oh it's spring, and them wear one jacket and then them a post and they say, oh, it's so cold. I hate this. Yeah.
All right, let's jump into the headlines. What's up this morning? Marks and Seabright sworn in as government takes steps to streamline bureaucracy. In a significant move by the Jamaican government, Audrey Marks, the former U.S. ambassador, has been sworn in as minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister. Her new role will see her focus on driving efficiency, fostering innovation, and championing digital transformation within the public sector. This appointment comes just days after her confirmation to the Senate. Alongside her, Delano Seabright, former senior tourism advisor, has been elevated to State Minister for Tourism, marking another key step in the government's broader strategy to boost tourism development. And this is according to the Jamaica House. These appointments are designed to reinforce the government's commitment to enhancing efficiency across public services and continuing the growth of the tourism sector. So some new news there.
I mean, these developments...
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, first
to
of all.
Delano.
Delano and Ambassador Marks. Delano has been like the state minister in the Ministry of Tourism for like 8-9 years now.
He's like the state minister, you know what I mean?
He has been. You know, especially he has been toe-to-toe with
Minister
Ed Bartlett. And the truth is that when I saw it, I thought this is a good example of transition.
Yes.
Leadership. It's like when we've seen it in the past with Wickham McNeil, who is well known as a tourism person in politics, and then you saw Damien Crawford, who lectured in tourism, you know, being increasingly exactly. I know he was a very popular lecturer in that regard. And you saw him as state minister, and you could see a pathway.
I like that.
You know?
I don't like seeing like a shoemaker become a baker like that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes the appointment looks so incongruous. Like him, how him fit right so. You know, he may or she may be better served elsewhere. You know what I mean? And so for me, it was a natural transition. And as Dennis said, it's like passing the baton and you know setting up.
Because an important feature of good leadership is leadership transition.
Absolutely, changing the guard.
Right, and so you can see that development. With Ambassador Marks, the funny thing is that, you know, especially in journalism and broadcasting circles, you heard whisperings for like a few years now. Oh, Audrey Marks, she's tipped to become a senator. Oh, you know, because people are like, okay, the next set of senators, who might they be? And you know, people were calling her name for a while. And if you're calling her name as a potential senator, you know, she could be a cabinet appointment for this or that or the other, you know, and so you're seeing that. There was a question about whether or not there is any duplication or overlap, and I'd love for the administration to possibly explain, because you hear the words digital transformation and efficiency and that kind of a thing, and she's a minister without portfolio. So she's a full minister. She's not a minister of state. She's a full minister, right? And minister of portfolio doesn't mean minister with nothing to do.
Right.
Right?
You're busy still.
Yeah.
You're employed.
Right. but understand the fact that the education minister, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, he had some element of transformation and efficiency and modernization in her portfolio. And so I saw questions online for people to just asking for clarity.
As to why the appointment?
No, as to the distinction between the two appointments.
Roles, okay.
Yeah, You understand?
Well, Ambassador Marks, you know, she's a transformation and digital from Paymaster days till
Paymaster days, right.
Before paying bills online was a thing. She was a pioneer, the trailblazer in that regard, you know. And I think that her tenure as ambassador to the United States has also been good. So we want to congratulate her, as well as I want to congratulate the newly appointed ambassador to the United States, Anthony Anderson, Major General. Congratulations, sir. You know what I mean?
Indeed, he's somebody who
if you need anybody to introduce you on a stage,
he was somebody highly
This what you can do, what you can do. You can do some sociology, you can write a speech for him. So you write the speech and me intro him. You understand? I work with Dennis.
Listen to the plans.
And you can the security.
And then I can also be his legal liaison officer.
All right.
I can see that.
And you can work out his security strategy. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. You see that? Hi, Ambassador Anthony Anderson. How are you? Good morning. Thank you so much. Yeah. Great. No,
Right,
have a look at
so me I notice, me I watch you know. Me I watch you know.
Yeah.
Me I watch you know.
Yeah, no, we have
I'm
to
just
look
saying, you're looking good in Washington, TK.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
And I think, you know, could organize like a play, a benefit play.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yes.
And it would just have like an inaugural...
The cultural community,
you
the
know what I mean?
Jamaican cultural community in Washington, you know.
The exchange.
You know, the theater diaspora,
See that?
kind of a thing.
That's right. And we can get Audrey Reid for coming, Audrey the Queen Reid, get Oliver Samuels. And TK can direct that. And they would just organize it.
Because she, as director or extraordinaire.
That's right.
Plenipotentiary.
Yeah.
Unfinished?
Deandra and Mario now can come video him.
Hear this
and
now,
Mario just work
the
out the
whole
tree play.
team.
Can you understand?
Yeah.
You have to think futuristically.
Next
Red
up,
Book will say.
what's again?
Yes,
Next up
Hi,
on
Ambassador. Good morning, sir. Salute. That's right.
When Miss Kitty have a plan, you know, there's a plan. Next up on the headlines.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I'm not plan to fail.
True.
TK. Good life.
That is
no man to cause of pain and strife.
Which is right.
Because poor is wrong. Yes.
School suspensions under scrutiny, discipline and vacation. A heated debate over the effectiveness of school suspensions in Jamaica is brewing following a recent roundtable discussion hosted by the Jamaican Youth Advocacy Network, JAN. The session, which involves student leaders, education experts and other stakeholders, centered on the issue of youth violence and discipline within schools. While the National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica, NPTAJ, continues to advocate for suspensions as a necessary tool for maintaining discipline, JAN has voiced concerns over their efficacy. JAN argues that suspensions, particularly for students from troubled communities, may do more harm than good, pushing them further away from education and positive engagement. In response, JAN has called for alternative disciplinary measures such as in-house suspensions and behavior-focused detentions. The NPTAJ, however, remains firm in its belief that traditional forms of discipline should be prioritized. So the benefits of suspension versus the effects.
I mean, it's an interesting debate, but I want the persons who are debating it to remember that this is not just like one school debate where the implications of your discussions mean nothing. You know, it's not some hypothetical conversation that you're having. It's actually school violence is a real thing.
Yes.
School discipline is a real thing.
Yes.
And I am still in favor of suspensions.
Absolutely.
As being one of the tools in the toolkit. I've always said that suspensions need not be something that we use willy-nilly.
But it needs to be on the table.
It needs to be on the table.
Because if the child is unruly, TK, and normally when suspensions come, Dennis, it's not as a first resort.
No.
You'd have got a warning, you'd have gotten a reprimand, and then we're stepping it up. And I also say, this is now where a parent comes in, because education is a partnership between parent, teacher, and student. So if you have a child that is troubled or giving trouble, disrupting the education for everybody else's children, why should your child now be a menace to all of us? And you know, if your child gets suspended, you as a parent, you have the onus is on you to find some schoolwork to give them to do, watch them, find them, get them therapy, or do something.
But what I'm garnering from this is that some of those students, especially who give that kind of trouble, when you say, you know what, as a disciplinary measure, go home and spend 3 days or 5 days, that's like music to their ears. They're like, yes,
hold on, no, there are
no
different,
problem.
Hold on, no,
This
there
is
are different
fantastic,
kinds of
you know?
suspensions. There are different kinds of suspensions, and we can make, I advocate for making suspensions functional. So for instance, because suspensions, sometimes depending on the offense, can be a necessary cooling off period.
Yes.
Okay. And so you need that kind of a cooling off period in order to put in place what is necessary
Mitigation
for
measures,
a reset. There need to be implications. Sometimes you need to remove the student from the environment in the same way that you, in the same way that, you know, you use incarceration as a tool of, I'm going to pull you from the population, put you here, and rehabilitate you, and then reintroduce you into the population as a rehabilitated individual. I am saying that just suspension for the sake of suspension
is not enough.
As in taking you out,
just to take you
it's
out.
not enough.
Without
so some of the times, a suspension, an in-school suspension is what is necessary, and I give you, and I have a remediation program for you.
But again, then it depends on the offense, because
it depends
also
on the offense.
Sometimes we are focusing also, TK, just on the offender. What happens to the person, the student who has been offended? I need to also ensure that that student feels safe in the school. They want to come to school. They want to learn. Because if your child's modus operandi is not to come and learn, then me no need the right to suffer and make everybody else's life a living hell. You understand what I'm saying? So we also need to think about the students who are being affected by said bully or said person who is causing the upheaval.
Exactly.
In fear for my child to go to school, I'm afraid. I come in, Mommy, I don't want to go to school because, you know,
somebody's bullying.
I'm going to see you every day. No.
And the truth is that your child is not going to always say it. You have to be listening and find out why is it that that all of a sudden they don't want to go, or they don't want to go to PE, or they don't specifically want to go to swimming or something like that. You have to listen carefully to the changes in their behavior, and that is something that I think as parents we have to do. I remember there was a time when at a particular school there was a punishment where the students did something that was seen as you disrespect the very uniform that you wear. And so you had to come to school, but you had to come to school in black and white. Mighty God, you know, the people start to, oh, you're shaming and it's embarrassment and you're causing trauma. And okay, so what? So suspend them then.
What is the proper punishment?
My thing is, TK, you're never going to find a solution that fits everyone. You have to think about the majority and what is in the greater interest of the majority of the students. So some people are going to always have a problem with everything, and they have a solution to nothing. They find a problem for every solution, right? So you come with something, them a nitpick or whatever. Keep a picnic at your yard if them can't hear.
And the thing
and
is,
you bring them come here.
People outside of the school have everything to say, but you're not the principal. And at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, the principal has to run that school, and everybody with all of their criticisms have everything to say, but at the end of the day, they don't have the responsibility.
Some of the people who are giving the problem to are always having a problem. Them used to give you a problem at school. Go home and lie down. If you're at school, you don't pay attention anyway. You get Z minus.
Some of the time when you're bringing the parents, you realize why the child's so bad.
Thank you very much. And sometimes when you call the parents, they don't come. They don't turn up.
Exactly.
They don't turn up. There's nobody. So what do we do? You know what I mean?
The child
functional,
it's a lot.
Suspension.
It's a lot.
And it has to be on the table.
Sorry, Jayan. Not in agreement.
Because what are we doing? Are we just going to all plant flower seeds all over the world? As I tell people, gentle parenting only really works with gentle children. You have to assess a situation on its merit.
That's right.
So, everybody just want kumbaya. It not work.
You want to be the cool mom and the cool dad.
No. And that is a problem. Therein lies a problem. Because one of the best ways you can show love to your child or your children is by disciplining them. Because an undisciplined life is not one worth living. You have to be disciplined. There are rules in hell. Because if you're good, you can't go there. Ask Satan.
Good morning, Jackson. Good morning, AA. That's all the time we have for the headlines. There's more sunrise after this.
Oh, what a greeting.